So Titans Season 3 has come to an end. Thank God. I don't know if it's been announced. I haven't bothered to look if they're going to do a fourth season. They shouldn't. It's so bad. It's just gotten worse with each season. And yet, it's one of those things that has these positives in it that's rather cruel, you know, because there's moments and there's performances and there's certainly the actors in here demonstrate that, oh, you could have had something, you know. For a lot of things, I think they just don't have the budget for what these characters call for, especially characters like Starfire and Raven, with these super powerful people here, especially with Starfire, to make her be the way she's supposed to be, where she flies. You know, they never have her fly here. And with the glowing, it makes it look like her hair flows behind her. All that stuff they would do in the comics, they just don't do. And to where more times than not, you've got superpowered characters like her who just decide, I'm not going to use my superpowers. I'm just going to try to use some martial arts in my god-awful costume in high heels and stuff. I mean, I don't know what it is. I never had too much of a problem with this woman. They was like, oh, she's miscast. And well, it's an alien character. And I thought she was fine. I would have thought, but there again, I guess the expense of painting her orange to look like the alien race of the Tamarins was just too expensive, you know, so they didn't do it. And I guess that's what it was. But the thing of it is, they kept dressing her in these god-awful outfits. And I'm like, how come she doesn't get a costume? They finally give her a costume. And I mean, the concept art of it looked, I guess, okay. I thought, well, okay, maybe, whatever. They're not going to do obviously the metal bikini one and that sort of thing. I thought they could have done something similar to the cartoon or something like that. But anyway, they did this one that they did, and the concept art, it looked all right. It looks like crap on camera. And then her sister, who's supposed to be a villain and evil and stuff, but they just were jealous of one another. And it turns out her sister Blackfire was wronged, you know, so she's just misunderstood. So I don't know what they've done since I knew the Teen Titans of the 80s with George Perez and all that. And Blackfire was very much a villain and all that. And I did read Justice League Odyssey, and she was sort of done much better than here as far as storyline goes, where she does kind of become this anti-hero type character. So I guess they've softened her up and changed that since then. But ultimately, they didn't know what to do with these women. And but her costume was much better than Starfire's, which is, I don't know why they couldn't just give Starfire a similar one, just, you know, lighter or, you know, more of the light purple or what have you. And that, you know, that would be that. But whatever. Superboy is basically wasted. He has some of the better. They're very brief. I mean, the opening bit they had where they take down a villain is probably the best part of the whole series. After that, you just don't watch it anymore. Where Superboy tells Crypto speak, and Crypto sends out a sonic bark at the villain and knocks him down. See, this is the thing I keep coming to the conclusion that they would have been better off with just a Nightwing series, because the actor playing Nightwing is good. I see potential in him. Unfortunately, he's ruined by this crap. If he doesn't have the script, it's not going to show up. If he got a Daredevil level Nightwing series, man, you'd really have something. I mean, they can't find anybody to write detective stories with superheroes. You know, for whatever reason, they can't do a Batman series, although there's rumors there might be one. But nevertheless, all this time, they just wouldn't do it. But here you have a really good actor who could do the role. And that would be a cheaper story to do, because it's the street level stuff. He's just in Gotham or Bloodhaven, whichever. And you could the actors playing Barbara Gordon's okay, but again, they give both of them a really stupid storyline where they burglarize stuff for fun. They're supposed to be these superheroes and everything. It was terrible. But the relationship there could have been a good story for a setup for a Nightwing series. and that would have been much better. Superboy, which is probably one of the best episodes they had, which was last season, his one show was tops everything they did. It was really good. And so maybe you could have had a Superboy series, but there again, that comes into superpowers and expense. A Nightwing show, I would think, would be cheaper, but a lot of his powers is not as it's not, you don't have, other than the heat vision and stuff, I wouldn't think it was as expensive as it would be for Starfire and Blackfire and stuff, and Raven, and so they might be able to get around that. But I've seen cheap superhero shows with the Flash when it was good, and it was still good, even though the CGI is cheesy and whatnot, but I didn't care. Somebody had some amount of professionalism when it came to scripts and whatnot, and crafted a story that was, entertaining. It was not going to knock your socks off or anything, but, it was good. And now it's, they lost on this when they should have ended the show a couple of seasons ago. This one never had a chance. And you see these moments where it could be, but it's not. And in this one, just god-awful stuff with the Red Hood story. Now, the outfit looked great. And so that's one of those things. It's like, damn, you almost had some right off the bat. He's not doing the Red Hood story. I mean, yes, he gets beaten by the Joker. He dies and then gets resurrected. And now he's all messed up. But he was messed up before, we find out. And so he's really lost. Give him his redemption at the end, which is really terrible. The ethics of that is, no, he needs to go to prison for what he did. He murdered Hawk. He flat out did. I mean, sure, he manipulated Dawn into pulling the trigger, but she didn't know that. He did. And he put the bomb in that guy's chest. So you don't come back from that. But the real story was that he becomes a more brutal vigilante. He becomes more like the Punisher, and that's breaking Batman's rules, and that's what Red Hood was and is. And they could have done that. It's okay, you don't want Batman, you just have Bruce Wayne in there occasionally, and then he disappears. Why even have him there? Then it could have been between him and Nightwing, and that would have been fine. But the way they did it, it's terrible. It's like they start it, and then they forget it. They turn him into a murderer, and then they do this stupid redemption thing at the end. And no, that's not believable. That doesn't work. Nightwing dies too. Everyone's dying and coming back except Hawk for whatever reason. And so when he's, I don't know, was that supposed to be the realm of the dead, which they showed in the previous episode? I don't know. And then they're showing him being taunted by Jonathan Crane. I mean, I get it's all in his head. And then you're jealous of Jason, which there was nothing to indicate that. He was mad at Bruce Wayne in the previous season because he says, you're taking this kid and doing to him what you did to me and all this sort of stuff and turning him into a vigilante and all that. And now it's no, he was really jealous that he got replaced. So in this dream world, he beats Jason to death. Then after that, I don't want this. So that was his moment of truth, of overcoming. No, he went through with it. It made no sense at all. The actor playing Jonathan Crane, I liked him fine in Mad Men. He was really good in that. Here, would he made a good Jonathan Crane? I don't think so based on this, but who knows? That's what they gave him. And then a lot of times they'll take these Batman villains, and all the time they really would wish that it was the Joker. So here they have him doing Joker crap at the end, and then even Riddler crap, and never really have him be the Scarecrow. So just stupid all around. The Lazarus Pit, well, they have it there, they make use of it, but then that's their solution for Scarecrow having killed, I don't know, a couple of thousand people in Gotham, and they're like, oh, yeah, that was bad. Hey, I know. Let's use Superboy and Starfire to create a cloud using the Lazarus Pit water and rain it on the city and bring them all back from the dead. And that's what they do. And so everything's happy, the city's messed up, but it'll be fixed. It's fine. Meanwhile, the whole city, they just decide, okay, we're just going to let the Scarecrow run the city, and they quarantine the city. They won't let people leave. Why? I don't know. All the water was poisoned. It was stupid. It's one of those plot lines that they stole from the crappy Gotham series, but without the over-the-top zany, I guess, charm that show had, because there's people who liked it. I think that was just within the performances of the different actors who played those characters, when the entirety of the show was just beyond stupid. Well, here comes Titans telling Gotham to hold my beer. Ah, jeez. Oh, so bad. And it's a damn shame because, yes, some of the cast members are pretty weak. I like the girl playing Donna Troy, but it looks like they brought her back from the dead. So, there we go. But it looks like they're writing her out if they continue for another one. But who cares? Ah, jeez, what a just missed opportunity. And they don't care. Why should I, So, I would scrap this show and restart. Just forget this show ever happened. And get this guy to do a Nightwing series and leave it at that. Preferably with someone who can be on the level that the Daredevil show did, which was excellent. The third season, it fizzles. But if you just kept it like this is going to be a detective series, but it's a superhero, it's Dick Grayson in his Nightwing outfit and that sort of thing, and go from there. Or better yet, just do a detective superhero series with Batman, and you'll probably own the fandom. If you do a Batman show that really is Batman, it'll blow everything out. Everybody will be jumping for HBO Max. So, but boy, there's a lot of stupid in the way apparently. Because with the stupid still in the way, and they go ahead, okay, we'll do a Batman show. You know how awful it would be, and apparently very dangerous considering the stories we're getting from Batwoman, and now the latest thing that happened on that Alec Baldwin movie set. What the hell is that? So anyway, it just don't do any more Titans. It's so bad, and it's painful, and it's a damn shame. Thanks for watching and listening. Say, while you're still here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah. And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, on RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh, my goodness, so many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh, yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.